Hello and good evening, our blue viewers. You're watching on Live RTD channel. Welcome to this English news edition. Here are the top stories. The head of the state shared the 21 meeting of the Council of Ministers. Security Council condemns Israeli recognition of Somaliland. And for the international scene, the Somali ambassador Abubakar sounded the alarm of the UN. Those were the headlines. Thanks for joining us in our newsroom. The President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Omar Guelleh, shared this morning the 21 session of the Council of Ministers following Texas were examined and approved. Detail in this report.
La présidence de son Excellence M. Ismail Omar Guelleh, président de la République, chef des gouvernements, a eu lieu ce mardi 30 décembre 2025, la 21e séance du Conseil des ministres.
Conseil des Ministre of Commerce and Tourism, the first item, draft law on the adoption of the financial statement of the National Tourism Agency ANT for the fiscal year 2023-2024. The financial statement for the 2023 financial year of ANT show revenue of 203 million and expense of 209 million. Revenue for the year increased by 6.05 million, totaling 203.6 million in 2023, compared to 197.5 million in 2022. This increase is mainly due to the growth of exceptional revenues, notably the deferred recognitions of revenue from previous year, plus 14.8 million. Revenue for 2024 increased to 238.3 million compared to 203.6 million in 2023, driven by other exceptional revenue, including recognitions of revenue from previous year and revenue from the Integrated Framework Project for Sustainable Tourism Development. Expenses totaled of 235.9 million, representing an increase. INT made investment totaling 8.3 million in construction, technical installations, offices, and IT equipment. The second item, drastically approving the 2026 provisional budget of the National Tourism Agency. The 2026 provisional budget of the INT is balanced between revenue and expense at a total of 242 million. Revenue are composed of own resources estimated at 193.4 million, including 148.4 million from hotel fees, a decrease of 12.7%, 30 million from various fees, and 12 million from other tourism revenue. Operating subsidies decreased by 130 million, amounting to 49.3 million in 2026 compared to 179.3 million in 2025. These include apportions of the airline ticket taxes estimated at 20 million for 2026, projected expenses total of 242.7 million. In 2026, ANT plans several initiatives, including launching a pilot project for the Musha and Matkali Island constructions of cabins, enhancing digitalizations with the online payment solutions, implementing effective maritime control of tourist sites through a new boat, and accelerating the structuring of the centers of excellence for tourism and hospitality training. The third item, drastically approving the 2026 provisional budget of the Djibouti Offices of Industrial and Commercial Property, ODEPIC. The 2026 provisional budget of ODEPIC is balanced at a total of 312 million. The expected state subsidies is 162.9 million. Projected own revenue amount to 149.8 million, mainly from commercial registry fees, trademark filling, and Amendment Act. The probable 2025 results exceed these forecasts, estimated at 215.1 million. Operating expenses are 275.7 million. In 2026, ODP explains the completion of a flagship project promoting intellectual property for women basket weavers, implementing the intellectual property promotion strategy, launching a training and survey project on geographical indication, establishing the beneficial owners register. The Minister of Economy and Finance in charge of industry, the fourth interim draft decree on the approval of the Islamic insurance company, the insurance. The growth of the Islamic financial system, along with the evolving national insurance regulatory framework, offers a favorable environment for developing the insurance sector. The insurance submitted a file meeting all legal, technical, and financial requirements for the approval of insurance companies operating under Islamic insurance principles. The draft decree aims to strengthen insurance offerings, increase financial inclusion, and consolidate the sector's institutional framework in the Republic of Djibouti. The Presidency of the Republic, the fifth item, draft decree approving the 2026 provisional budget of the National Agency for State Information System. The 2026 provisional budget of ANSI is balanced at 396 million, down from 556.7 million in 2025. Projected revenue mainly consists of the state subsidies and fees for services rendered. The 2026 budget focuses on strengthening ANSI's strategic role in modernizing and digitizing public administration institutional reorganization following the creation of National Cybersecurity Authority.
And now in the second part of the Council of Ministers, several questions were examined and approved. Detail with Mohammed Aden.
6 item, draft decree approving the 2026 provisional budget of the Djiboutian Multi-Sector Regulatory Authority. The 2026 budget total of 258 million, up from 218.8 million in 2025. Revenue mainly come from spectrum and license fees, as well as state subsidies of 139.06 million. Planned priority include creating a legal, regulatory, and institutional environment for ICT, training programs for ICT sector lawyers, consumer awareness campaign in regulated sectors, education on regulated sector professions, especially energy consumption, establishing an ICT observatory, including data collections and survey, organizing workshop on economic regulations for partners. The Ministry of Higher Education and Research, the 7th item, draft decree approving the 2026 provisional budget of the University of Djibouti. The 2026 budget is balanced at 4,215 million, up to 0.3% from 2025. Projected revenue are 4.2 billion, including tuition fees, other activities, and state subsidies. Student enrollment is 11,508 for 2026-2025, with 4,492 baccalaureate admitted versus 3,992 the previous year. Planned academic initiatives include 5 new master programs, creations of the MBA in finance and banking, and accreditations of new courses, a BET certification for engineering faculty. The 8th interim draft decree approving the 2026 provisional budget of the Djibouti Center for Studies and Research. The 2026 budget totals of 1,165 million, up to 15.9% from 2025. Revenue includes laboratory analysis fees, technical studies, sale of books, maps, and reference documents. 10 million key project for 2026. National Water Monitoring System, Green Hydrogen Project in Mulhule, consolidations of seismic monitoring networks, development of local sectors in renewable energy, biotechnology, and public health. The Ministry of Agriculture, Water, Fishery, Livestock, and Fishery Resources. Then 9 item, draft law adopting the 2024 financial statement of the National Food Analysis Laboratory. 2024 financial statement is for 509 million in revenue and 622 million in expenses. Growth in revenue is mainly due to fees for controlling imported food products, 422.9 million, and self-monitoring services. Regular inspections were Regular inspections were conducted along supply chains and distribution points, ensuring compliance with national and international food safety standards. The 10th item draft decree approving the 2026 provisional budget of LANA balanced the budget of 442 million, projected revenue mainly from food safety control fees, self-monitoring analysis, and mobile inspection services. New investments include the expanding physicochemical analysis to detect aflatoxin and heavy metals in food product. The Ministry of Infrastructure and Equipment, the 11th item draft decree approving the 2026 provisional budget of the Djibouti Road Agency, balanced budget at 2,172 million, up from 101,910 million in 2025. Operating expenses show a slight increase. Personal costs remain stable at 919.4 million. 410 employees. Investment of 364.5 million include software acquisition, construction works, industrial tools, IT and office equipment, and transport equipment. Planned road project Dudu Balala Gelile 21 km, Dikil Mulud 20 km, 5 km of priority urban roads, widening of national road number 1 between Wi'a and Dudu Balala. The Ministry of Muslim Affairs and Waqf Assets, 12th item draft decree approving the 2026 provisional budget of Diwan al-Zakat, balanced budget at 571 million, up from 450.3 million in 2025. Operating expenses estimated at 94.8 million, with 16% of Zakat revenue. 24 million allocated to operational costs. The Ministry of Social Affairs Solidarity, the 13th item draft decree approving the 2026 provisional budget of the Djiboutian Social Development Agency, balanced budget at 547 million. Revenue sources: state subsidies, project management incomes, National Solidarity Fund contributions, investment of 29.5 million for building, rehabilitation, transport equipment, and microfinance unit setup. The 4th item draft decree approving the 2026 provisional budget of the National Institute of Public Administration, balanced the budget.
The Security Council examined Israel's recognition of Somaliland and reaffirmed Somalia's unity and sovereignty. The United Nations Security Council held a session yesterday on the repercussions of Israel's announcement of recognition of Somaliland, a separate region in northern Somalia. The meeting took place in a context of a high diplomatic tension at the request of Somalia, which considered this initiative a threat to regional peace and security. During the session, several council members emphasized their commitment to respecting Somalia's sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity, noting that any unilateral change to a territory's status violates international law and the UN Charter. Somalia's permanent representative reiterated his country's categorical rejection of any recognition of Somaliland, calling it a direct attack on national unity and an attack likely to destabilize the Horn of Africa region as well as strategy shipping routes in the Red Sea, he said. The ambassador of Somalia said, and I am honored to make this statement on behalf of the A3 group, which fully aligned with the establishment, with the statements of the group African member of Security Council. It is also subscribed to the numerous important declarations of the African Union, IGAD, and the Arab League, and the OIC, as well as statement from 21 countries in the region and beyond condemning Israel's action, which unilaterally decided to recognize the separatist region, the so-called Republic of Somaliland. This decision constitutes a direct violation of established international norms and legal principles. These norms are enrich in the founding text of African Union of its constructive act whose direct declare objective is to defend sovereignty, territorial integrity, and independence of its member states, respecting the sovereignty and the territorial integrity of another state is a fundamental principle of UN Charter. Consequently, the UN Security Council has consistently integrity and the unity. Today, Israel's irresponsible decision undermine these principles, deliberately violate the UN Charter and the challenges of authorities of this council as it habitually does and threaten the foundation of the international legal order. It amounts to interference in Somalia's affairs, and as it supports Somaliland is independence and Somalia's country, it constitutes an illegal violation of the sovereignty, territorial integrity, and political independence of Federal Republic of Somalia, in which Somaliland is an integral part. For his part, the Djiboutian ambassador accredited to the United States affirmed that the Republic of Djibouti fully aligned with the statement of the Group African, a member of the Security Council. Detail with our colleague Mohamed Aden.
Djibouti fully aligns with the statement by the A3. It also endorses the many important statements by the EU, IGAD, the Arab League, and the OIC, as well as the 21 countries in the region and beyond, which have condemned the actions by Israel, which took the unilateral decision to recognize the breakaway region, the so-called Republic of Somaliland. This decision is in direct violation of established international norms and legal principles. These norms are embedded in the founding text of the African Union and its constitutive act, which has the stated objective of defending the sovereignty, territorial integrity, and independence of its member states. Respect for another state's sovereignty and territorial integrity is an essential principle of the UN Charter. Accordingly, the UN Security Council has insisted in its resolutions on respect for Somalia's territorial integrity and unity. Today, Israel's reckless decision undermines these principles, defiantly violates the UN Charter, arrogantly challenges the authority of this council as it is wont to do, and threatens the foundation of the international order. It amounts to intervention in Somalia's affair insofar as this action fosters the independence of Somaliland and the breakup of Somalia. It constitutes an unlawful transgression of the sovereignty, territorial integrity, and the political independence of the Federal Republic of Somalia, of which Somaliland is a constituent part. It sets an extremely dangerous precedent and encourages further fragmentation. Mr. President, such unilateral actions risks inflaming tensions within Somalia and across the Horn of Africa and the Red Sea, emboldening armed groups, bolstering terrorist groups, and unraveling the hard-won gains of the United Nations, the African Union, and the Somali government in our collective efforts to promote peace, security, and stability in the country. In this regard, this Council should take very serious note of the analysis made by the Somali government on the potential security ramifications of the destructive move by Israel in its press release dated December the 26th, 2025, as well as the various declarations made by concerned countries and organizations in the region and beyond. We also take note of the federal government's decision to reject the forced relocation of Palestinians in Somalia, as this is a crime under international law. By virtue of its sovereignty, Somalia enjoys the full range of sovereign powers of its territory and the activities taking place therein.
Following an emergency meeting, the United Nations Security Council reaffirmed its support for the unity, sovereignty, and territorial integrity of Somalia in response to Israel's decision to recognize Somaliland a northern region of Somalia, as an independent state. Council member emphasized that such recognition made without Somalia's consent violates international law and the principle of UN Charter, particularly the respect for existing borders. All Security Council members condemned this move except for the United States, which did not issue an official condemnation. This meeting request by Somalia and its allies aimed to prevent a diplomatic or security escalation in the Horn of Africa, a region crucial for the regional and global stability. Somalia rallies after Israel's illegal recognition of Somaliland. All Somalia is gripped by massive popular protests in response to the illegal recognition granted by Israeli state to the Somaliland region located in the north of the country. The capital, Mogadishu, is at the forefront of this protest, where demonstrators are loudly chanting slogans affirming national unity and denouncing what they consider a blatant violation of Somali sovereignty by Israel. The mobilization have also spread to other cities such as Galkayo and other localities. The RTD's correspondent in Somalia, Mr. Libnan, confirmed that the protesters were deeply angered and categorically reject the Israelis' announcement, which also drew widespread international and Arab condemnation. They also warn of a serious repercussion of Israelis' aggression on the national sovereignty and territorial integrity of the Federal Republic of Somalia. And now Turkey and Djibouti, for their unwavering commitment and support in the implementation of this project. Turkey, with its significant human and social impact, the social tribute was also paid to the medical and paramedical staff, particularly in the team in the neonatology department, for their dedication, professionalism, and a strong sense of responsibility beyond the provision of equipment. This project provides solid foundation for future training capacity. The head of Yemen's Presidential Council, Rashad Al-Alimi, demanded on Thursday the withdrawal of all Emirati forces from all Yemeni territory within 24 hours. He also announced the declaration of a state of emergency across the entire country, effective immediately and lasting for 90 days. This announcement came as the coalition to support legitimacy in Yemen carry out airstrike targeting weapon and military vehicles at the port of Yemen. In a televised address, Al-Alami stated that the Yemeni Presidential Council has decided to cancel the joint defense agreement with the United Arab Emirates and to impose an air and land blockade on all port and border crossing for a period of 72 hours. He clarified that this decision aimed to protect civilians and the legal status of the state following confirmation of the United Arab Emirates had established dispatch two ships loaded with a weapon from the port of Yemen. And now Saudi Arabia condemns the United Arab Emirates military movement and reaffirms support for Yemeni security and stability. Saudi Arabia has condemned the action of the United Arab Emirates, which have pressure the Southern Transitional Council forces to conduct a military operation on Saudi borders in the province of Yemen port. The Saudi Ministry of Foreign Affairs stated in an official press that this action constitute a threat to the kingdom's security as well as the stability of the Republic of Yemen and the region. This is it for this edition. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful evening.